antagonist, if you like. Is that going to shift? Are we going to see other big bads through the season?
There are going to be other villains going on. The Michael thing unwraps a whole can of worms because he had to, over the years, build a whole infrastructure on alternate world to undo it to the degree that it had been undone. Now he's here, and as you saw, I think from the little tease they showed, he's basically right now just trying to get the lay of the land, but ultimately he has to show a strategy, he has to build an army of supporters, he has to figure out what it is he wants. He has an idea what he wants from this world, and it's not pretty. But so all of that brings about additional players because people start vying for power and vying for domination, and I think that's going to introduce some new players.
How much time has passed between the season finale and where we begin with season 14?
About 3 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's never happened before. We've never more or less picked up where we left off. Well, I guess we did last year. But it's about 3 weeks.
How much of Michael's goal has he already accomplished in those 3 weeks, or is he still working towards something?
He's still getting the lay of the land. I think he's really feeling his way along because he wants to do it right this time. He has to admit that it's sort of a mess that he left behind up in the other world. So he's going to go about things slightly differently this time, but that plan is rolled out pretty fast. At least the goals are rolled out pretty fast.
Are we going to see a shift in dynamic with the characters, with Jack and Cass and Sam and Dean, and how's that dynamic shift going to play out?
Jack is in such a weird predicament. Before the relationship was Jack, Dean and Sam were sort of mentoring him and channeling his powers because he was in this incredibly powerful force that was just like a bull in a china shop. Now he has nothing. He has nothing. It was all taken away from him. And when you consider this as a human who's literally been on the planet for a year and a half or something, whatever it works out to be, and has never experienced life as a normal human being. He has no reference points because he came in and hit the ground running, vanquishing things and smiting and doing all this stuff and figuring out how to channel that. Just being a guy he has no experience with it. And he's a young guy. So what does that mean? What is he going to do? And who do his mentors turn out to be? Sam has his hands full just trying to track down Dean at the moment. That's really his focus. And it kind of falls to Cass, which is kind of sweet because Kelly left Cass sort of in charge of Jack. And Cass steps in and fills that mentor post.
So probably have humor in it with how Cass is with human life. Explaining it to Jack should be pretty funny in some ways.
They're an interesting pair because Jack is so naive and just so completely honest, and so is Cass. Cass calls it like he sees it. He is not a political at all, and so the two of them are an interesting combination of people.
Well, no, that was the question I was going to ask.
Oh.
Okay.
Were there going to be any comedic elements? So, yeah.
Yes, there is fun to be had.
Are any of the Apocalypse World hunters that we don't already know from previous seasons going to feature more in the upcoming?
Yeah, some of the ones that were just kind of introduced a little bit, like Maggie, they're going to figure it's going to be an interesting thing because the bunker, which was once just this completely isolated thing with just Sam and Dean rattling around in it, is becoming a much more populated world, which is sort of an interesting. I mean, it shifts tonally the whole feeling of being down there. It's really turned into the world's most interesting, odd underground hotel. Seemingly everybody's staying down there, and there's going to be a force of hunters because their main goal has been taken away from them. They all wanted to get back to the rift so they could fight Michael, but Michael's here. So now they're here, and what do they do with themselves? How do they fit into this universe? And it's going to become interesting and cast Sam into a new role of kind of marshaling these people and pointing them in the right direction because they don't really know how to pick up where these guys left off. So I think all that's going to be really interesting.
Are we going to get to see Sam sort of like grieving a little bit for the loss?
Oh, yeah. He's devastated, and there is so much on his plate in terms of just trying to keep everything together here, and yet he has this tremendous sense of loss because he doesn't really know if he's going to get his brother back or not. It seems like all the mechanisms they have for extracting Michael from Dean or getting him to leave aren't available to them. So he's got to figure all that out. And first of all, he's just got to physically find out where he is. So, yeah.
But is there a level of hope there since we've already, because Dean had to go search for Sam and they had to be able to be reunited? Does he have that slight hope that, we can accomplish this all again? Yes.
Yeah, I think we've seen that play out over and over in the show, that against insurmountable odds, even if one of the brothers is at the end of his rope, the other one pulls him back up, He doesn't have that luxury now because he doesn't have Dean, but he does have Jack and he does have Cass and Mary's there and Bobby's there. So the force of that team, that family, and now it literally becomes more of a family than it ever was. I think all of that has to build that hope, and they are determined to pull it off.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.